Wuna,
Niakit,
Janet,
Chris, Kendrick.
Alito,
Yo!
Wuna,
Ansda, Hindudish.
Kikadoos,
Guna.
Yate,
Kurumate.
Mandawaka.
Good morning. I think we hit all
Mike
of
to
them.
Kevin, Hainapi, Stongo, Oshkinyacha. Good morning. Coming
go.
live from 1950 South Shepherd. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Yes. Aho! Where the land meets the sky.
That's where I'm from.
I'm his neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning. My name is Domingo Whiteman, Southern Cheyenne, half Mexican. Coming to you live here. Hope everybody's having a good Friday morning. TGIF. Hey. But good to see everybody. Good to see y'all. Good morning. How you doing, Barry?
So I was thinking, since you say you're half Mexican, wouldn't that be like considered like being almost full-blooded native?
Yeah, like full indigenous.
Yeah, I mean, I consider, our Latino family.
Yeah.
Got to figure out what
Yeah.
tribe.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Something to think about. But yeah, my name is Barry Botone. Barry Boat. Very grateful, thankful, and appreciative of the opportunity today
Yep.
to get on here and share a little bit of, some experience, strength, and hope with you all. So
Yeah. Waking up sober.
waking up sober,
Clean.
no hangover, the no
Mm.
hangover crew
Just food hangover.
in Oklahoma, not the not our Montana brothers. Big shout out to what they do up there. Man, the guys are killing it right now.
Pivot.
So I'm trying to get some music on here. I got to disconnect.
Playing upstairs
Yeah,
all loud.
playing upstairs all loud.
If you play it loud enough, we'll hear it.
There we go. We're in the business right now. So yesterday we had on, Aunt and Uncle.
Oh yeah.
Aunt and Uncle Ruth and Ron Colley.
How many years combined?
52. Well, next month, you got to remember that, Darian. Ruth is having her 26 years next month, I believe on the 28th.
All right.
So, that's huge, and, like they say, I can understand, they're like, we don't like to be put on a pedestal. It's all creator. It's all God. I get it, but I mean, to have 20 over 20 years of combined recovery in a time where, these things were not part of, mental health wasn't big, and to raise their kid in the environment, a safe, loving environment. I mean, like that, and that deserves some, some recognition in my book,
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I mean, like we're just now getting into it, like
We're infants.
yeah, and I think my son is older than their son, maybe,
Oh yeah.
or our kids are about the same age, and I love the fact that, they were able to come to terms with their sobriety and to, still be carrying that message. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And, hopefully I'm thinking like maybe my grandkids will be able to say that one of these days.
Yeah.
That's the way that I pray today.
Amen.
So I see we have a comment.
Yeah, Ray Marie White Carter says, "Good morning. Listening here at Heritage Press in El Reno, Oklahoma.
All right.
Have a great day.
We know.
Good morning, sis. Good morning. Glad you could tune in with us.
Kimberly Sexton says, "Ocio."
Sio.
What though?
Wadoke. But yeah, so the ladies are all out today.
Just us guys.
Just us fellas,
Man.
the originals. Well,
Well,
I'm not really original, but
who's the original?
Well, we're NWA
Oh yeah.
today.
got our contract signed.
Jerry Heller, yeah. We're just the foreskins on the mics. The foreskins,
Yep,
you know.
Friday.
Yeah, just the fellas today, which is cool. It's kind of
It's our turn.
the old vibes of what it used to be like around here. No conflict.
No conflicts, no argument,
Yeah.
smooth sailing.
Smooth
Balanced.
sailing.
Balanced.
Well, so do you want to speak a little bit about the dance coming up?
Oh yeah, it's our 2-year Healing Together, 2 years strong. Next Saturday at Concho Respect Gym. So we'll be celebrating 2 years of our All Nations Recovery Powwow, our benefit dance. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be bigger this year, and last year was pretty packed.
Yeah.
And if you checked out our head staff, got a good big names on head staff, and we got our special contests. So are you fancy feather, fancy shawls, jingle? Come on out, and we'll see who's the best, who has bragging rights.
Ooh.
Eastern, Northern, or Southern?
What about West?
Oh, well, Western. Yeah, Western sizzling. Who remembers Western sizzling? Yeah, put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
Don't put China King. Put Western sizzling.
Hey, let me talk about my China King.
Oh yeah, ponchos. Is that the one with the flag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hungry.
Sing real quick flag song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be next weekend.
Yeah.
So this Sunday, the sister Frida Ray, she is having a speaker meeting at the Oklahoma City Kelly Club on North Kelly. They're going to be eating at 2. Then the speaker's going to come at 3. And, I think that's huge. The speaker's going to be Aaron Puga. Aaron Puga. And, like that's huge. She's inviting all Wellbriety communities to come and break bread with her. I love the work that she does. I mean, Wellbriety has, she's just like blazing a trail, blazing a trail wherever she goes, So I love the fact that, she's making it happen, like she's definitely making it happen.
Is that her Indian name? Blazing Trail?
Blazing
Yeah.
Trails. I forgot what she said. She told me what her Indian name was.
Morning Star.
Morning Star.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Mm.
But yeah, but then next Thursday. Is it next Thursday? Speaker meeting. What's the date today?
The 29th.
So
2 weeks from today. We will be having our speaker meeting here at 1950 South Shepherd with Lydia West. We eat at 6 and she speaks at 7. We will be broadcasting it here on our Facebook. So I'm just glad that she's a part of our circle. We're very honored to have somebody like Lydia, come and share her experience, strength, and hope. So we're looking forward to it. It's potluck, but if anything, just come and fellowship.
Yeah.
Bring your appetite, and it's always a good time. We always have a packed house. It's not just a native thing. We want to invite everybody. And we're a part of this community too. We want it to be a community, but whatever it's got to look like, we'll be ready for it. So that's pretty awesome. So do we have anything else going on? That's about it.
Hand drum.
Hand drums and can. When is that?
27.
Okay, hand drums in Canton, Oklahoma.
ERC.
4 to 6 at the gym. That's their ERC, right?
Yeah.
The gym.
Jim.
So January 27th. From 4 to 6, we will be in Canton making drums. And we always get a pretty good turnout. I'm pretty sure we had a pretty good turnout last time.
Yeah.
We had people come from Watonga, Remember we had some come from Clinton. Remember they walked in 5 minutes from each other. But Sealing, like all them surrounding communities.
Yeah.
Come and make you a hand drum. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, that we're able to do those types of things. So
Oh,
good deal. Good deal, fellas.
Got any comments? Knife Chief.
John Lee Soap says the original.
Oh,
Hey,
Johnny.
good morning. Good morning.
David Deere
Good morning,
says
brother.
good morning.
Stongo, David. Stongo. Stongo at the sky.
Mado.
It's Che.
Chabon.
Boa.
Boy. Hokti.
Stongo a boa.
Dosa. Nevas.
Well, so what do you think? Should we go ahead and jump off into this bad boy?
Dive on.
We have a book.
Yeah, there was one on Barry's chair.
Oh. It's right. It's hot and
Lewis
ready.
White says,
Hey,
"Ho
Lewis.
from Broken Arrow."
All right, brother. We're glad you could tune in. Yeah, remember he was at the retreat. Tell Mr. Whedon we said what's up.
Things a new book.
So today is January 16th. I got to give a special shout out to my daughter, Brianna Rochelle Boto.
Happy birthday.
She is 27 today.
Mm.
27 years old today, and it's crazy because I got two 27-year-olds.
Dang.
They're the same age for a couple of months. They're the Irish twins.
Mm.
But yeah, she turns 27 today. My daughter, she's in a place right now where she found some sobriety. She got a sponsor. She's hopefully working some steps. And it's I always think about back whenever she was born and she was the only child that lived with me. Like I had an older son, but he lived with his mom. And then I had Brianna, and I lived with her and her mom. And like I remember, man, I remember finding my purpose in life again. From seeing this little girl and the way she looked at me, and like, man, she was such a daddy's girl. Like it was great. I got me a job. I was doing everything that I was supposed to do for her. And not to say I wouldn't have done it for my son, but that was a different situation. But I can just remember, the way she looked at me. Like kind of like how Suda looks at you.
Yeah.
Like you're not noticing it now because that's just how it is. And as she gets older, and she finds other things that interest her, and she's not getting mad because you kiss mama. Yeah. That's kind of how my daughter was, like I can really say that was, one of the greatest times of my life is, realizing that I can love somebody the way that I loved her. And her just being a little baby and her giving that love right back. It really gave me a purpose in life. And, I'll always be grateful to have that connection with my baby. Because I don't care how old she gets, she'll always be my baby. So, it's pretty awesome. So I hope my baby has a good birthday
Happy
today.
birthday.
We're gonna be sweating Sunday. That's her day off, and everything. I'm pretty sure everything's gonna be all right. Things will get better. And that's all that you can really hope for. is that she worked some steps. And because, if you don't work any steps, you're just the same person you was.
Just right around.
Yeah.
Big circle.
But I mean, I that's one thing about I understand about working my program is that I can't force anything on her. I may be all about sobriety and recovery and all these things, and then watching my daughter struggle, I had to sit back. And have her have that own realization, have that own divine intervention. And that's tough. That's tough for, a parent to sit back. And I can talk recovery and sobriety all day long, but the last person she wants to hear it from is me. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed that my daughter, she found it on her own. I didn't have to force anything. And she just got her 30-day chip last week. And that's huge. That's huge to me. Like that's such a blessing. So but yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Thank you, Mr. Botone, for sharing. A quick shout out. Yeah.
Yeah. Short and
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
Short and sweet,
All right, today, January 16th, still the winter season. Says today, if people are going to get back into balance, one of the things they have to do is seek the truth. They have to start really speaking the truth themselves, and that's a difficult thing to do. The way it is now in the world, we don't mind lying. John Peters, slow turtle, whooping. Well, everybody's doing it. Do unto others before they do unto you. If it wasn't for bad luck, I would have no luck at all. These are excuses and rationalizations for giving up accountability. Be true to yourselves. Seek the truth. The Great Spirit is the truth. The truth shall set you free. This is the truth. We cannot be free if we are dishonest, nor can we live in a balanced life if we are dishonest. As we grow, we need to start taking stands. All warriors take stands. The warrior's belief is constantly being aligned to truth. The warrior will always know where she stands. Great Spirit, help me today to seek your truth, not my truth. Oh,
I love that.
good one. Dang.
Whenever I hear speak the truth, be honest. It's funny. Me and my sponsor were talking about, being honest with ourselves. And this is how much I tried to rationalize my thinking. I said, if I'm going to tell myself the truth, I should probably quit lying to myself. And we looked at each other and just busted out laughing. He's like, yeah, that's a good place to start. I was still trying to rationalize my thinking. And, I had my brother Dave, man, he had a great share last night. And, I hate to piggyback off of what he said, but it made so much sense to me, about what it is to live the truth and live a lie. The reading last night said something to the effect of, we were lying to ourselves and we didn't even know we were lying. That's how far the truth was from who we were. Living that lie. I learned to live a lie. And because I was such an emotional person that I couldn't see the truth, my emotions were running so rampant that, I couldn't find that balance. And today, where it talks about being honest and being accountable, quit making excuses. That saying, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. That's a rationalization as to, there's no accountability. I can use that for any any excuse. You know, am I being accountable or do I want to use excuses? And what I found on the other side of being honest and truthful and, trying to decipher why I have to tell a lie all the time. What I found on the other side of that was freedom, balance. It says take a stand. I'm a Cheyenne dog soldier. That's what we were known for, was taking a stand. I found a way to take a stand, but that's where I found my spiritual connection, was by taking a stand. And because I used to be the type, I said, stand for something or you're going to fall for anything. That used to be my favorite saying. Stand for something or you're going to fall for anything. And, it just became part of who I was. I lived that lie. So I like the prayer at the end. Will you read that prayer at the end again?
Yeah.
It goes
Yes.
good.
Great Spirit, help me today to seek your truth, not my truth.
That's powerful. Not to seek my truth. So what does that mean? Don't let me get comfortable in a lie.
Dang.
Don't let me be comfortable because the situation that maybe I created or didn't create. Like maybe this came up and I feel awkward and it makes me feel uncomfortable. But as long as I can stay true to this way of life, as long as I can be honest about my situation, on the other side of this is some growth. Like every time I feel uncomfortable in this whole scenario of recovery or living my life in a way that I never knew existed, like there's going to be some new concept. There's going to be some new things that are going to come up, and it's going to make me feel awkward. It's going to make me feel uncomfortable. But one thing I've learned is that on the other side of that, if I stay true to this way of life and I can stay honest, on the other side of that is going to be some growth. And, that's one thing that nobody ever really told me at the beginning. Is like, for me to grow, I got to get uncomfortable. I got to get vulnerable. I got to have an open mind, as to what helped Domingo, what helped Carmelo, what helped, like all these different people in my life. I feel like God is working through every single one of you all, and I can appreciate it today. I can be thankful. I can honor what he's trying to provide in my life and quit trying to run away from the truth. Yeah, it may, it gets uncomfortable sometimes, it gets too much. I ain't gonna lie, like I can't say I'm above, hating that icky, awkward feeling, but I've stayed sober, I've stayed honest, and I've stayed away from falling to the lies that I used to live every day. What's on the other side of because I like the way my brother said it last night, is that living the truth, man. You avoid all these negative things in your life. When you're telling lies, like you get anxiety from having to live that lie. You get all these negative feelings from, adding this extra pressure of living up to this lie. Like the way he put it made so much sense to me. Like, man, I had a good therapist, but it wasn't that good. But yeah. No, I had a great therapist. His name was Elliot. We still stay in touch to this day, Still get to tell him happy birthday. But it's pretty honest. Pretty honest is a way of life that I never imagined. I never knew that Because, you know, as in every 12-step program, that's the core of seeking your truth, is being honest about, you know, like that's the number one, that's like the core value of every 12-step program. So, you know, it's been amazing, you know, man. I remember the first day, this is the first day I went to rehab. And you know, it was so relieving to say I'm an alcoholic and I'm an addict. You know, you could have looked at me and knew I was struggling. I was 100 pounds soaking wet. You know what I mean? Like I was all bony, you know, like struggling, you know. You could obviously look at me and tell there was something wrong. But the last thing I was willing to do was admit it. You know, so living my truth today, you know, has been an amazing journey. Being honest with myself about, you know, about things, that's the thing, is I can be honest when nobody's looking. You know, that's been amazing. You know, it's been an amazing thing. And there are ways, you know, there are ways to just try it, you know, just try it for one day. You know, try to go all day without telling one lie. You know, and yeah, the way my brother put it last night, it was pretty amazing. You know, he you know, and he's great at, you know, giving those people in early recovery, you know, giving them a base of how to handle things. You know, that's why I got a lot of respect for what he does and, you know, who he does it for. So would you like to go, or you want to read the comment?
You read comments. I think we got a big one.
White man killer less.
Oh,
Hey, brother Les.
safe
The
travels,
Walnut
brother.
Brothers watching from Northside Seatown.
Oh, yeah.
Cheyenne Galvin says Pibble One, not Sunshine.
People one beautiful.
Walnut.
Aaron Blackwolf, thank you guys for doing what y'all do for our people, and good morning.
Good morning over there in Santana.
Morning.
Nona Russ says morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Marcos tunes in, says you're doing good work, Barry. Tell Mingo to step it up, though.
Oh,
We need that yogi, he says.
Don't take that.
What?
Yeah.
Calumet.
Call him a cuss word. Yeah.
Yeah. In Spanish? No.
Yeah.
Legend says, good morning, brothers. I'm 447 days Wellbriety today.
All right, sister.
Oh.
Glory and praise to God. All I know is Wellbriety, and working the steps has changed my life for the better. My spiritual journey has been an adventure. Stand up for what you believe in, because you can fall for anything. If you besiege and beset it with the help of God, you will get it. Have a day better than good, brothers. We do recover.
Thank you, sister. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Then Brother Drew says, good morning, fellas. Hope you all have a good day.
Walnut.
Walnut. Brother Drew.
And we have a YouTube. I don't know who that is. It just says
At Hugs Kiss.
it says good morning. It says it's like 4 O's, an X, and an 84.
4 hugs and a kiss.
Yeah, 84 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in with us.
Oh.
C Dump says good morning, y'all.
Good morning, sis.
Oh, I was sharing.
Let us have it.
Thank you, Mr. Botone, for sharing that.
Ahoo.
Yeah. What I think comes to my mind, you know, being, especially as, you know, men and warriors, taking that stand, and, you know, it's because a lot of, like, you know, makes me think, you know, when being honest and not lying to others, and because when you live that lie, it's easy to say it. It's easy to say it and keep going. But, you know, it does stick with you, though. Like, man, I was lying, but it's all right. I've been getting by every day, you know, for years. But to me, when, you know, I had one that, you know, me and my therapist, we talk, you know, just learning to, you know, like taking a stand and letting that ego down, and that pride, and to not be afraid to be hurt Yeah, we were hurt again and again before, but being able to just, take that lie off and get hurt again and, go through them feelings, like they always say, in order to heal, you got to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, of course, the drugs, substance, they can become your best friend, but it won't help you get through, naturally. And, I always think of that too and think of how much, like my mom, my dad, all our ancestors, they work hard for us to succeed and be better than them and not to fall back, 100 steps. And, being honest and the truth, it does set you free and it does have that good feeling behind it. Don't be afraid to get hurt or, you know, to, to be honest and be thankful every day and to not, you know, not to lie for a day, like Brother Dave said, try it for a day, see how that is, and then take that next step, maybe a week or, maybe 2 days, 3 days, just little baby steps, it's part of that life. And I don't know, I always look at it like being thankful that, we get this opportunity, we're not able to work with it and cope with our therapist, your sponsors, and however your counselors. I don't A lot of people have, that's good though, that's good medicine. A lot of people feel like, I don't have that problem, they're too scared to talk, share them feelings. And Brother Ron talked about the other day, one of the brothers in the groups, he kind of had a question about sharing, like, I don't want to share with y'all. It's kind of it. He said, well, just start little. I have to start share big. And I've seen a bunch of brothers in the past. It took weeks. 8 week and like the last 2 weeks, man, it just really dives in and they open up, and it's like, but it's good though. It's just whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to be honest and open up and really think about, what, what's holding you down. Why you gotta lie? Why you gotta feel that everybody's doing it. So but able to break that barrier and to break that kill that lie and be honest. It's I don't know, to me, when I did that, it's made me feel better. Yeah, I was afraid. I didn't want to i didn't want to I didn't know what was going to happen. I prayed to Mahiel. I was like, man, it's always to you. It's always up, it's always in your hands, and help me understand what I don't understand.
Mm.
And that helps me a lot when when I quit that lie, when I finally realized that lie was breathing down my neck, and I let it go, and man, it felt good. Felt relief, and able to feel good about it. And in the next day just felt even better. And into today, it's like processing, going through the process, and able to talk about it and share with my therapist. And for and then being that, I talked to my boys the other day and before I dropped them off, and it was real good, hearing them open up. I got 13 and a 14-year-old, two boys, and Suda, she's 2, and being able to talk to them and be, talk to me about their feelings. And we always talk about sports, basketball, football, it's and I always my sister always reminds me, like, well, you showed them, you took them to them games, now you gotta do it now, you gotta represent and honor them. Hey. Honor them that way, because you showed them that way in the powwow. And they go to church too up there. And so I told him, I was like, that's good, just I got my middle rider, I got him to say makats. He's saying, and teaching them some of the language. And so and like you said, just being able to see your kids. And but first of all, you're gonna do it for yourself. Love yourself, appreciate your honesty to yourself and to others. And then, man, it's so much light, you'll appreciate so much stuff more.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing the little things in between the lines and able to appreciate life and all your traditional ways and culture, and then everything will fall together. Take time.
Definitely.
But it may take 3 months, 6 months, but it'll all fall together. Just be patient. Be very patient. Pray every day, every hour, or just let them feelings come in too. It may be in the weirdest moments, you're driving or
Yeah.
having a lunch break, and it's like, dang, why do I feeling like this? just let it come through. It's healing. I learned that it's healing behind it. So I think that's all I got. So
Ahoo.
Manu.
How you like that, Marcos?
Yeah, Marcos,
Shh.
your turn.
I'm in now.
Yeah, step up.
Yeah. Mr. Revelis, would you like to share a little bit?
Yeah, let me.
You had a
grab
good
these-
share last
grab
night
these
on our
comments.
TikTok
Oh,
live. Yeah, we
yeah.
did it. We would get on with recovery over everything with my brother Jake.
Bro.
We had a full house.
Dang.
It was like 9 of us on there. 10 altogether with Jake.
I
So
was
that's
just
pretty
trying
cool.
to listen, and Jake's like inviting me over and over again. I was like, all right, I guess I'll get on there. Cash chimes in and says, "Good morning, brother. Just got out of surgery. Found out I have cancer. If you
Oh,
keep
brother.
me in your prayers."
Definitely.
Pray for cash.
Yeah, you're gonna fight this thing.
Yep.
And you're gonna win. So yeah, I'll definitely be praying for you.
Then Misty's on YouTube. Misty Hickson.
Hey, Miss
Hey.
Says,
Hickson.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, yo.
Her little screen name is MH Native Nurse.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Misty.
Yeah.
Glad you could tune in.
Miss Lisa Garza says, Gwina.
Gwina. Yeah, she was on a TikTok live too.
Yep.
And her daughter got on from California.
Dang.
Your daughter.
Yeah.
Good.
Vida.
Yeah,
So, shout out to Vida, and it was, that's cool. That's cool the way, to watch that, to watch them heal as a family, man. That's awesome. So, big shout out to my sister, Lisa and my niece, Vida. I don't know her, but I mean, Lisa's family. Lisa's
out
family.
Shout out.
Yeah, Lisa's family.
Keep going.
All right. Well, as Randy chimes in and says, "Good morning, my brothers."
Good morning, Mr.
Mr. Nolene.
Mr. Randy.
That's it.
Yeah.
All his nicknames. Trying to pick which nickname you're gonna say.
Well, I think he's going by a different last name here lately since somebody went to California, but we'll speak on that later.
All right. Well, as typical, this is part of my morning routine is going through and reading these meditations. And I talked a little bit about it last night, but and I would like to think that Don set these meditations up the way he does. Like this is like the last week or so has been focused on spirituality and truth and honesty and kind of not being afraid to speak your truth and all these meditations have been kind of running together. Like last night's was about spirituality and being being central to who you are, and this one goes right along with it. I mean, you can't be true to who you are without the truth, without being honest, without taking that stand. And I think it's just important, that you have to recognize that, and that living in balance is can be brought with all the good intentions in the world, but there's tons of people that go out and have good intentions. You can have all the intentions in the world to go and help people, to go and do different things, but you have to bring truth along with that, because everything, I was talking to somebody this morning and they said, there's a fine line between hearing words and then seeing the actions behind those words. And I was just like, man, I was like, that makes all the sense in the world, because you can have people out there that are saying everything right, but there's no action behind what they're saying. And I was like, if anything, that shows how honest you are and how truthful you are. And I was like, man, how is all this stuff that I'm hearing, like, as of late, all centered around these same subjects? And so I think, a lot of us go through times where it's easy for us to say different things, and we become comfortable. And, there's always that thing, on Facebook where everyone's always thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. I was like, but how many people are actually sharing thoughts, or how many people are actually saying those prayers? And I caught myself doing that for a period of time.
Yeah, me
But
too.
Now I stop.
Yeah.
Like if I say I'm going to pray for somebody, take that
Yeah.
time and I stop
Yeah.
and I say those prayers. And you find power in that. And people become comfort with even telling those little lies. Like you're doing it because you have the ego, you have pride behind who you are and who you're showing yourself on social media or whatever. And you just want people to see, like, oh, yeah, I am praying for them, but are you actually praying for them? And so that's all part of this honesty thing that's centered around these meditations that we're talking about lately. And so what that truth does is it holds you accountable for who you are. And if you're not living out that truth, then you're only hurting yourself. And, we go through these steps and things for that reason, because you're trying to find who you are and you have to be truthful with who you are. And so, we live in a world where excuses are common all the time, where, dishonesty is just as justified as honesty.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that, I don't really like to bring it up, but like our political environment now in our country, there's just dishonesty everywhere. And people are just like, oh, it's okay. I don't have to, it's not affecting me right now. But, at some point it probably is. And if it's not going to affect you, then it might affect your children down the road. And people don't look at it that way. And I think it's just crazy that, the world we live in is just comfortable with it now. And it's that we've gotten so far away from being really honest and truthful with ourselves that comfortability is just part of the world. And it just blows me away sometimes, because I try to think about how honest and truthful, like, my parents were, or my aunts and uncles that helped raise me were. And I try to think of times where, like, even with my own kids, where, like, I try to hide what the real truth is to try to protect them from being hurt. I was like, but are we really helping them in doing that situation, or would you rather just be honest with them, just so they can experience it, so they can be ready for it whenever they have their own kids? And so, just like Mingo said, like, you have those conversations with your kids sometimes, and those can be like some of the most deepest conversations you ever have, and you can see them respond to that. And my girls have started doing that. Like, they've started to respond more because they can see how much more honest I am being with them, or how quick I am to want to pray about a situation, or tell them about how God is working through a situation, or how he will be working through a situation. And one of the main parts of this meditation is understanding that, the Great Spirit is truth. Creator is truth. God is truth. There isn't anything that's not more important than that. It's like that relationship you're building with him is because he is the truth. And that's one of the, main parts I got from this meditation, and we have to be ready to not just take stands about who we are, but take stands for the truth that we're trying to accomplish in our lives. And I think that's, it speaks to us like, we're warriors, and we're recovery warriors, and we're in this journey. And, Nat said it last night. It's like we're all part of a community. We're all part of a family. And how important is that family? Because without that family, trying to go through this alone is one of the hardest things you're ever going to do.
Isolation.
Yeah. And sometimes people think that's the only way they can accomplish anything. And that's not the truth at all. And I think that's why we're so open with how we try to invite people into the things that we do. And it doesn't matter. We're centered around Wellbriety, but Wellbriety is about bringing everybody together. It's about bringing all nations together. It's not centered just around Native American belief. It could be any culture. It could be anything. It's just centered around your relationship with Creator, with your God, or, however you want to believe. And I think that's important, because that the family that we've built over time, like, you feel when somebody's hurting, or you feel when somebody's like suffering a loss. And I gave that example last night. It's like, you can come into our office and if somebody's having a bad day, or that somebody's like struggling. But we're also people that will joke around about a lot of stuff to try to gloss over that stuff sometimes.
It's bad every day.
Yeah, and But I think that's kind of part of our own therapy in our little office.
Yeah, we laugh at our
Yeah.
pain.
And but it doesn't stop us from talking about it either. Like,
Yeah.
if we're going through something, we talk about it. Yeah, we know that there's going to be laughs behind it, but we also grow through that because people don't stop what they're going to say. They're going to share it anyways. And so I was thinking about like a question, because I always try to reflect back and think about how I'm going to use this meditation through the week, or just through that day. And there was a question that I wrote down this morning. It said, where in my life am I tempted to avoid the truth, and what would it look like to choose honesty instead?
Mm.
And there's so many times where I'm talking with somebody where you get comfortable with not speaking your full mind. And I do that a lot with my kids sometimes because I'm trying to protect them. And I think about that with my family a lot. Like, you don't want to overstep your bounds, but at the same time, like, they reach out to you for a reason. And I think that's important that, and I don't try to hold back anything I'm trying to say or portray anymore. Like, I need to be the one that speaks that truth and honesty to them, because no one else might ever do it. And I think it's when it comes to people, like especially my family, that are reaching out to me that are struggling with their life or struggling with their addiction, like, they know who I am. They know what I'm going to say. Maybe they just need me to say it. And that's part of being that truthful, honest person in somebody's life. And if you're going through that, you gotta be ready for it. And I think that this meditation is kind of that's what brought all that out to me today. So I'm gonna stop, or I'm gonna keep on going forever and ever.
Kick a deuce.
Yep.
Was that a comment, or is that one that we already read?
There's
Oh, yeah.
another one on there.
Oh yeah, let us
Oh yeah.
Talo.
Hey.
Morning, Talo.
Good morning.
How do you spell Talo?
Tahlo.
That's cool. Oh yeah, Robbie.
Yep.
Robbie
Quentin
Talo.
Sessom says, "Morning, Unk and everyone."
Good morning, nephew. Hope you're having a good day today.
AJ Sativa says, "The truth will hurt, but it will set you free."
Thank you for tuning in, sis.
Jake.
Nat says, "The pain of one is the pain, pain wall." I think that means pain of
Pain
all.
of all, yes. The healing of one is the healing of all. A better me is a better you. A better you is a better me.
Our brother Tommy Trout says, "Good morning. Getting back into
Wouldn't-
balance starts with honesty, being willing to face and speak the truth, even when it's hard. In a world where bending facts has become common, choosing truth is a powerful act of courage and healing.
Mm.
It's about personal responsibility and creating trust, which is the foundation for real connection and balance in society. Without truth, balance is impossible."
I like that, brother. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Nat comes back and says, "The pain of one is the pain of all. When we don't share what we are hurting and reach out, it becomes burdening and heavy. But when we share it, we can help carry it."
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Sister Ruth says, "Good morning. And yes, I stop right then and say a quick prayer. And you have to start by being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Greatest form of respect.
I
Some don't
like that.
Yeah, some don't like being honest because it makes you vulnerable, and people will use it on you sometimes."
Yeah, I like that. The greatest form of respect
Dang.
for yourself. That's pretty awesome. I never thought of it in that way. But that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You got to respect yourself before you can respect anybody else.
Mhm.
It's just
Can't
like
give
the
away.
love, that love one. You can't love
Can't-
anybody else if you can't love yourself.
Can't give away what you don't have. So yeah, I like that.
It's good.
Do we have anything else?
That's all our comments.
All our comments.
Well,
We'll be off Monday.
we'll be off Monday. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that.
So back on.
Oh yeah. What day is it?
President's Day.
MLK.
President's Day. Is that MLK Day?
MLK.
Is it? I
Next,
thought MLK Day was in February.
next month's President's Day.
Well, we're gonna be off. That's all we know.
Yeah.
So we'll be back Tuesday.
The 20th?
Yeah, so that's all right with me.
If you want to tune in on TikTok,
Oh, TikTok.
Yeah, we'll be
Recovery
recovery over
over
everything
everything.
at 9 o'clock Central Time. That's what time we got on last night. Well, I got on about 9:30 ish,
Yeah.
but I mean we had a full roster up there. There were 10 of us altogether that got on. So recovery over everything on TikTok at 9 o'clock. Like because I'm just usually scrolling about that time,
Yeah.
and it was 2 nights ago that I seen Jake was on there, and I ran into the living room and I told Natalie, "I'm about to get on here. I'm about to get on here." She's like, "Do it! Like, get away, go on, yeah,
leave me alone.
go on, go do it." And I clicked on the request, and you have to wait on Jake to
I'll let
to confirm it, to let you in. And then I clicked on my picture again, and then my picture came up, and I got to click on it has the camera sign, and I clicked on that camera sign, and then my picture came up. My video came up. So, if you're wondering how that works, that's I just went in and figured. I guess whenever you go live on TikTok, it gives you a little camera on the bottom. I guess you can click on that camera and control whether they can see you or not. But yeah, it's been great. We had a lot of people. Had a guy from California, had a couple ladies from Canada, everybody native in the recovery field, or in recovery. So that was pretty awesome. Had Sister Lisa, Natalie on. It was funny because me and Natalie's right by each other. We're both. I just lifted up my phone and she was behind me on the bed. So, but yeah, so that's just throwing it out there. If you ain't got nothing to do about 9 o'clock and you're on TikTok, check out Recovery Over Everything. Send him a follow because that is my brother Jake's recovery clothing line, and he has a lot of great he has some good products. So now he's starting another clothing line called Wealthy Mindset. So, but yeah, it was pretty awesome to be a part of that last night. So, I mean, I don't think he's doing it tonight though.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he said he was gonna wait.
Trying to do it every night.
Yeah, he said he's gonna do it every night for the rest of his life. But no, I think he said he's going to hand game tonight.
I mean, we could always just jump on there and do it.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
got
You never
access
know.
to doing live, so
Oh,
I mean, if you want, we can jump on it.
I think I might start doing something with my Uncle Den podcast thing too.
Nice.
Uncle Den, that'll be the podcast coming out soon.
I want to know who the first guest is. Who gets Uncle Den first?
Uncle Den, but yeah, so that'll be, we'll be dropping some more promo for that. It'll be called the Uncle Den, the Recovery Podcast, and our tagline is "We Recover Out Loud." So that's gonna be, that'll be dropping here within the next couple of weeks. So I'll give more info as we get it going. Might even just drop it next week. I don't know. We're on Creator's time, so whatever he's allows, I'm ready to go with it. Do we have any more comments before we get off of
C Dump says that's Cheyenne Day.
I knew you was gonna say so.
Amex said that's Barry's brother's day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Amic's birthday.
Yeah.
Brown Sugar Day.
Yeah. Brown sugar.
National Brown Sugar Day. Well, that's all I really got.
Robbie says, live within the day. Forfeit
Mm.
about yesterday. Forget
Yeah.
about yesterday. It's over. Take everything bad and negative and toss it away. Learn to step out from what's holding you back. To hate people will not change anything. To love them will.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
Frank Palmer's tuning in from Newcastle.
All right.
Newcastle.
All right. Thank you for tuning in with us.
racers.
Ahoo. Well, that's all I really got.
Yep.
Well, like, share, follow.
Subscribe.
Tell your mammy about us. And
Yeah.
we will see you next Tuesday.